Hello everyone, welcome back to Believer Science Academy. This is daily news analysis session. In this session, we will be again looking into some important articles from various newspapers which are important from UPSC prelims, mains as well as your interview preparation. So the first article for today is about an unfortunate event that happened in Tirupati yesterday. It is about stampedes. Okay, in this article we will understand the stampedes and what are the causes for stampede and what are the mitigations. It is in news because a recent tragic incident in Tirupati claimed 6 lives during a stampede while devotees were waiting to collect tokens for Lord Venkatesha's darshan. This highlighted the urgent need for effective crowd management and strategies to prevent such cases. So, as we can remember, like recently, like some 4 to 5 months back, there was another stampede which resulted in the death of more than 20-30 people in Hatra religious possession. Okay, so there are various incidents happening in India. So let us see what is stampede and how we can mitigate this. So stampedes in definition are chaotic and uncontrolled movements of large crowds which are often triggered by panic or an urgent rush to move in confined or overcrowded areas. Okay, chaotic and it is an uncontrolled event. It happens because of a rush or panic to move in a confined or overcrowded places. Either the doors will be very small or either the place will be overcrowded. Okay, so causes are from the supply side. We can say the causes are overcapacity, that is when you exceed any capacity, allowing more people than the safe limit creates dangerously crowded situations, and confined spaces, that is overcrowding increases the likelihood of stampede significantly. And again, whenever there is crowd, but the poor crowd management is also one of the reason that ineffective planning, that is there will be lack of clear exits, designated waiting areas, and poor organization leads to confusion. Even though the crowd can be managed effectively, because of the poor management, it may lead to, it most of the times leads to stampedes. Then absence of any control measures, that is insufficient preparation worsens the panic and chaos. Okay, so again the physical barriers also one of the reason, that is narrow pathways, meaning small or obstructed exits create bottlenecks during the emergencies, and poor designs such as obstacles and poorly planned layouts trap people, increasing the risks. And again, role of the human psychology in stampedes also contribute to this one, that is panic response. Whenever there is a panic, it results in the spread of fear. When there is fear, panic often spreads uncontrollably, causing irrational behavior. Okay, when you are under fear, when you are under panic, you tend to give away to the emotions rather than thinking logically. It most of the times leads to unfortunate results. Then there is a domino effect, that is a single push or urgent movement can cascade into widespread chaos. Okay, that is one person starts pushing another person starts pushing another person, and the chaos emerges and the fear spreads throughout the throughout the gathering, and it will lead to unfortunate results. Then external triggers, that is sudden stimuli, that is there is a loud noise which and perceived threats or emergencies can initiate panic. Okay, suppose there is a meeting or suppose there is a gathering of large number of people and there is a loud sound, like suppose of a bomb or suppose of a fire, and people start running without thinking twice. Then collective behavior, that is individuals versus group dynamics, that is individuals may act against their self-interest and the collective pressure, leading to chaotic pushing and shoving. Okay, even though there are certain people who have like try to use their logic, but they are heated to the pressure of group. Okay, if all are moving in one side, you are also pushed to move another side. And then there is contribution of space design, we already discussed, that is there will be narrow exits and blockages, meaning more people cannot move at the same time. And then there is crowd flow design, that is unclear pathways force groups to merge, creating confusion. And inadequate lighting, because of less lighting, less visibility, it may also lead to stampede. So if those are the causes, then how you can prevent and mitigate the like stampedes. That is, first and foremost should be effective crowd management. That is, entry should be controlled. That is, limited size should be allowed, and queue should be managed with the use of barriers, signage, and trained personals. And there should be real-time monitoring with the use of CCTV and AI tools, and improving the infrastructure and emergency readiness. That is, venue should be designed, that is, a venue should be planned during its designing such that it includes wide pathways, multiple exits, and clear evacuation routes in times of emergency. And there should also be on-site preparedness, that is, equip venues with medical facilities and train staff in crowd control and emergency responses. And there should also be public awareness and technology use. That is, public should be provided the stampede education, that in times of crisis you should use your logic rather than heeding to the emotions. That is, inform attendees about safety protocols and emergency procedures. Then use digital tools, that is, you can use online ticketing systems and mobile alerts to prevent long queues and guide crowd management during the crisis. So these can be used to effectively mitigate or manage a stampede. Okay, there can be easily a question on stampede in the mains, or there can be a question in your interview also because of recent incidents. So be prepared about key issues. Okay, that is infrastructure, crowd management, and fear, group versus individual, and mitigation is again psyche, like use of technology, etc., can be your solutions there. And the second article, it is about editorial from the Indian Express, sorry, the Hindu. The article or editorial is with section 152 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Samiti should not become proxy for sedition. Okay, so we will see what is section 152 and what are the provisions. Background is, there are concerns over the section 152 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. That is, recently the Rajasthan High Court in Tejendra Pal Singh versus State of Rajasthan cautioned against the misuse of section 152 of the BNS as a tool to stifle legitimate dissent. Okay, previously sedition or section 124A of IPC section was used, okay, was used as a tool to dissent, like stifle dissent, used to suppress the dissent or legitimate dissent. Now that has been subsequently transferred to section 152 in the new BNS. That is what. This follows the suspension of criminal trials under section 124 of Indian Penal Code in 2022 with the promises of its repeal due to its misuse and sedition law. Okay, there were promises of repeal, but now this has been replaced by 152. So there are concerns. So then, what is the issues with 152 of BNS? First and foremost is the vague terminology or ambiguity in its definition. That is, section 152 criminalizes acts, all those acts which endanger the sovereignty, unity, and integrity of India, but does not define these terms clearly. Okay, what action constitutes to violation of sovereignty, what action constitutes to violation of integrity of India is not clearly defined. So there is lot of discretion, lot of ambiguity surrounding the definition. This vagueness allows for expansive interpretation, enabling authorities to misuse this provision. Then, for instance, criticism of political or historical figures could be construed as endangering national unity, leading to unjust legal action. Okay, so this stifles a legitimate dissent also, or fair criticism can also be misconstrued as a violation of integrity sovereignty. Then, lowering the threshold for offences. The term knowingly reduces the bar for prosecution, especially on social media. Okay, so even sharing content without malicious intent could result in liability of it provoking prohibited sentiments. Okay, that is, even just sharing content which has certain aspects of communal sentiments or etc., even just meant for a fun or meant for a troll, that can be construed as a sedition under this term, that knowingly, because knowingly you are sharing a meme, though the content in it and the idea behind it may be different, but that can be misconstrued under this act again. So this also has a chilling effect on the free speech, that is, the absence of requirement to prove a causal link between speech and its consequence, mirrors the flaws of Section 124 IPC, which was often misused to curtail the free speech. Okay, the promise that the government made that 124A of IPC will be repealed has not been kept in spirit, because whatever the provisions were removed and whatever the provisions are removed under IPC has been replaced into 152. And National Crime Record Bureau data shows the low conviction rate for sedition under 124A despite high numbers of arrests, highlighting its abuse potential. Okay, that is, under 124A, more people were arrested, more people were detained, but they were not tried, they were not given convictions, so they were simply kept in the jail until the conviction was heard. So there is also misuse of, or probability of misuse of Section 152 of BNS. So there has been judicial interpretation of free speech, that is, courts have emphasized the importance of direct causal link between the free speech and its effects. The court in Balwant Singh and Anar versus State of Punjab, the court drew a line between casual slogans and actionable repercussions. Okay, whatever the slogans are like used in the like any speech or etc., should not be considered as an action which is endangering the sovereignty. We have to understand the real reasoning, or if there is any actionable repercussions among it. Then, in Kedarnath Singh versus State of Bihar, the court differentiated disloyalty to government from legitimate criticism. Okay, so legitimate criticism and disloyalty to the government are two separate things. Okay, you cannot constitute legitimate criticism of the government as sedition and then punish them under 152 Act or 152 BNS. So going forward, what should be the way forward should be, that is, there should be clear guidelines for the enforcement, that is, Supreme Court should issue clear guidelines for the implementation of Section 152, which ensures its use aligns with the constitutional principles, and key terms like unity and integrity need precise definitions to prevent abuse, and there should be balancing free speech and national interest, that is, a liberal approach to criticism even in the digital age is essential to maintain democratic values, and the marketplace of ideas as envisioned in Abraham versus Union States should guide laws related to free speech and dissent. Okay, so the marketplace of ideas, meaning all the ideas which are propagated by an individual, should not be considered as an attempt to undermine the sovereignty. They should be considered from the logic. They should be considered from the logic of reasoning. Okay, only then the action should be considered. Then, so these should be the way forward. So this can be a question in your interview again. So BNS 152 becomes very important. So have an idea about it. What are the provisions and what are its criticisms? Next. So there was an article which was covered by almost all the newspapers, that is 18th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, which was celebrated yesterday, that is on January 9th, 2025. So we'll see what is Pravasi Bharat Divas and we'll see why it is in use. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated 18th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas convention, a biennial, okay, a biennial meaning once in 2 years, to honor the contributions of Indian diaspora. The theme for this year was Diaspora's Contribution to Vikasit Bharat. Okay, so this is very important, Diaspora's Contribution to Vikasit Bharat. So what is Pravasi Bharatiya Divas? Significance: it celebrates January 9 to strengthen the connection of Indian diaspora with its roots and the Indian government. This date commemorates the Mahatma Gandhi's return from South Africa in 1915. Okay, as we know this, Gandhiji went to South Africa for certain case and he stayed there for almost 15 years. Yeah, almost 15 years, and then he returned back to India finally in 1915. So this is very important. The date is very important. History: it was initiated in 2003 by former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. The event transitioned from an annual to biennial format in 2015. Organizers are the Ministry of External Affairs in collaboration with Confederation of Indian Industry and other stakeholders. So there is key awards also announced in the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, that is, Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Award is conferred during the convention, which recognizes the outstanding contributions by overseas Indians in various fields. Okay, very important award. Then So Indian diaspora key statistics and influence include population of Indian diaspora is highest in USA, followed by UAE, then Canada and Saudi Arabia. And its economic contribution. So recently the remittances report by World Bank, India stands in number one in the remittances received by foreign diaspora, that is 125 billion 2023, a significant boost to the Indian economy. And then political and diplomatic influence, that is Indian origin individuals play a growing role in politics abroad, especially in the US and Canada. Events like Howdy Modi in 2019 demonstrated the diaspora's ability to strengthen bilateral ties and global Indian representation. It was such a big, huge event that the initially event was only supposed to be Narendra Modi's event. Later, Donald Trump also attended the event, and it became a huge spur in the US as well as in the world. Then, what are the government categories of overseas citizens? The government categorizes the overseas citizens as non-resident Indians. Non-resident Indians are no nothing but Indian citizens who are living abroad for various works. Okay, various reasons, work, study, etc., etc. Overseas citizen of India, these are foreign nationals of Indian origin who are registered under Section 7A or Section 7A of the Citizenship Act of 1955. Okay, these are overseas citizenship card holders. They are recognized as a foreign nationals but have Indian origin roots. Then the who are eligible for OCI, that is those eligible for Indian citizen post 1950. Individuals from territories joining India after 1947, for example Sikkim. Then so the update recently in 2015, the persons of Indian origin category was merged with overseas citizenship card holder. Okay, now there is no different categories of persons of Indian origin and OCI card holders. Presently there is only one category, that is only two categories, that is NRI or persons of like overseas citizens of India. So currently Indian diaspora numbers were 3.5 globally, including NRIs as well as OCIs. So the key highlights of 18th Pravasi Bharati Divas was, chief guest was Carla Kanglu, who is the president of Trinidad and Tobago, addressed the convention event like virtually. Then Pravasi Bharatiya Samman Awards were presented. Global representation, that is 27 individuals and organizations from 24 countries were honored. Notable awardees were Lekras Juneja, who is a NRI in Japan, recognized for the contributions of science, contribution to science and technology. Then Robert Masi Nahar, who is in Spain, he was honored for community service, known as the godfather of local cricket in Catalonia. Okay, and then Syed Anwar Khurshid, who is in Saudi Arabia, he was awarded for medical services as a physician to Saudi royal family. Okay, so not very important from UPSC perspective, but you can use those as an example in your answers. Then there can also be a question out of the blue in your interview, so just have an idea. Lake Rouge Juneja, Japan, science and technology. Robert Masi Nahar in Catalonia or Spain, for godfather as local cricket of Catalonia. And Syed Anwar Khurshid, medical physician for royal family of Saudi Arabia. So in the Prime Minister Modi's address, he advocated for global peace. He called for shift from Yuddha to Buddha, that is from war to peace. Highlighted Emperor Ashoka's transformation from a violent ruler to a benevolent ruler. And he also highlighted the India's global leadership, that is asserted India's role as a representative of global South, that is the voice of global South. Advocated for permanent G20 membership for the African Union. Emphasized the principle of humanity first global principle, and it is based on the Vikasit Bharat scheme or Vishwaguru policy, as well as Vasudeva Kutumbakam. And there was also a spotlight on the historical diaspora journeys. He proposed creating a database of Girmitiyas, who are indentured laborers, to document their migration stories and contributions. These are Girmitiyas or indentured laborers, who are the laborers who were from Indian origin, but they were indentured to a particular company, that is British East India Company, and they were made to serve in other colonies of British. And then he also spoke about vision for 2047, that is urged the diaspora to contribute to making India a developed nation by centenary of its independence. Okay, so very important topic, especially from prelims and mains perspective. Then, So another important article, that is about World Economic Forum's Future of Job Reports 2025. Okay, the World Economic Forum released the report, that is Future of Jobs Report 2025, highlighting the how global macro trends such as technological advancements, demographic changes, and green transition are shaping the world future workforce. So key highlights of the report include global job creation displacement. According to the report, 170 million new jobs will be created in the globally by 2030, and after accounting for 92 million displaced roles, the net job creation stands at only 78 million jobs. Then emerging roles will be fast growing roles include artificial intelligence and machine learning specialists, big data experts, fintech engineers, and then farm workers. That is driven by the green transition. Okay, and then growth is fueled by technological advancement and global sustainability efforts, that is fifth industrial revolution as well as global sustainability efforts. The declining job roles will be clerical jobs, including the data entry clerk, cashiers, are declining due to the automation as well as AI driven solutions. Okay, data like cashiers, data entry clerks, etc., job has been replaced by automation as well as artificial intelligence. Then the evolving skill demands, under this report they say that the jobs of the future are requiring you to have a more skill set demands in such as important skills, that is employers anticipate that 39% of workplace skills will change by 2030. The important in demand skills are proficiency in artificial intelligence, creative thinking, resilience, and adaptability to various aspects. So reskilling and upskilling, that is 85% of the businesses are investing in upskilling and reskilling programs to meet the future workforce demands. Collaborative efforts among the government, industries, and academia are essential to address the skill gap and align with the emerging job requirements. So about the report, it is published by World Economic Forum. It is based on the insights from over 1,000 leading global companies representing around 14 million workers across 22 industries and 55 economies. Okay, so the data is chosen from wide areas. Then it provides analysis of emerging and declining job roles. What are the jobs roles that are increasing? What are the job roles that are decreasing? And trends in skill demand as well as impact of macroeconomic changes on the labor market. All these things are very important. So about World Economic Forum, the static part, it was created by in January 1971 by the German economist, that is Klaus Schwab. Nature is an international NGO fostering public-private partnership. So it is not a United Nations organization or something. It is just an NGO. Key reports are Global Competitive Report, Global Risk Reports, Global Gender Gap Report, Global Social Mobility Report, Energy Transition Index, and Travel and Tourism Competitiveness Index. Okay, this is about World Economic Forum job report. And the final article for today is about Dam Safety Act 2021. It is in news because recently the Supreme Court of India has criticized Union government for its delay in fully implementing the Dam Safety Act 2021, nearly 5 years after its enactment. Okay, almost 5 years, still there has been not a proper implementation of Dam Safety Act. So what is Dam Safety Act? So it is an act or parliamentary act brought by the parliament to bring safety in dam areas. So purpose is ensure structural and operational safety of India's dams, prevent dam related disasters, and protect human lives, property, and the environment. So key objectives under section 3 is prevent disasters related to dam failures, enhance or establish institutional mechanisms for monitoring, maintenance, and emergency preparedness. And features and provisions include, it also has an institutional framework that's supported by National Committee on Dam Safety, chaired by chairperson of the Central Water Commission. It is reconstituted every 3 years. Okay, very important point. National Committee on Dam Safety, it is not a permanent body. It will be reconstituted every 3 years, but the chairman will be Central Water Commission, chairman of Central Water Commission. Responsible for policy formulation, guidelines, and safety standards. National Dam Safety Authority is also established under this one, which implements National Dam Safety Authority's guidelines and then regulates dam safety and standards across the country. It resolves disputes between state dam safety organizations and dam owners. And there will be state committee on dam safety, as we discussed, which will ensure state level dam safety and compliance. And there will be state dam safety organizations, which will monitor and inspect the dams within the particular state, and it will submit the report to National Dam Safety Authority. So other provisions include, it provides certain responsibilities for dam owners under section 38, that is forming dam safety units, preparing and implementing emergency action plans, conducting comprehensive safety evaluations, etc., etc. And also preparing emergency preparedness, that is mandatory EAPs for rapid response in emergencies. That is, emergency action plan should be there in hand for a rapid response in emergencies. Suppose unfortunately there is a failure in dam, and what should be the emergency evacuation or action plan should be there. That are made mandatory. So penalties for non-compliances, that is a company, like if the company is not in line with the safety, there will be imprisonment up to 2 years, fines, or both for violations of act provisions. So why is the dam safety a priority in India? Why should we focus on dam safety in India? Because it has the third highest number of dams globally. India has 4,407 large dams only behind China and USA. Aging infrastructure, that is by 2025, 4,115 dams will be more than 50 years old. And by 2050, 4,250 dams will cross 50 years, with 64 dams exceeding 150 years. So this is a very big challenge for India, because the aging dams are most likely are going to lose their structure and most likely are going to cause damages. And there is also decreasing storage capacity because of sedimentation of various rivers and various dams has reduced the reservoir efficiency. Example include Bhakra Dam faces 113.86% higher sedimentation rate than estimated, which is reducing its lifespan. And structural vulnerabilities, the dams is because poor sedimentation management systems often weaken the dam structures. Environmental events like flood exacerbate the risks also. And lack of data and monitoring, that is insufficient documentation of storage loss, sedimentation rates, and other critical matrices limits the preparedness. Okay, so we have discussed key provisions and what are its requirements also. Okay, this is the last article for today. That is about Miyawaki technique, because it was in news in the Business Standard Business Standard newspaper. It is in news because ahead of Mahakumbha Mela, which happens every 144 years, which is happening in Uttar Pradesh in the Prayagraj. The Prayagraj Municipal Corporation has employed Japanese Miyawaki technique to create dense oxygen bank forest, ensuring cleaner air and ecological balance for millions of devotees. Okay, so what is about Miyawaki technique? It is a technique, is a pioneering method aimed at creating dense forest in limited spaces, which was developed by Akira Miyawaki, who is a Japanese botanist in the early 1970s. It is also known as the pot plantation method. This technique mimics natural forest ecosystems by using native species planted closely together, promoting rapid growth and biodiversity. It was developed to restore degraded ecosystems and barren lands by replicating the processes found in the natural forests. So it is widely used in urban afforestation projects. Okay, this word is very important. Miyawaki forest. As soon as you hear the word Miyawaki forest, this urban afforestation should come to your mind. Then, so this is Miyawaki forest. There will be ground layer, shrub layer, top layer, and canopy layer, which is normally found in tropical dense rainforest. That will be followed in Miyawaki forest also, but it is in a limited space. Significant features include there will be dense planting. Trees and shrubs are planted close together, enabling a rapid growth up to 10 times faster than the traditional method. And they will be focusing on native species, on local plant variations or varieties to replicate the natural ecosystems, and improve biodiversity. Obviously, enhances the species richness, supporting the more flora and fauna, and again, acts as a carbon sequestration bank. Trees absorb more carbon, helping combat urban pollution. So these are the important articles, very important articles from UPSC perspective, and very wide range of articles were also covered here. So if you like the video, then please hit the like button, comment on the video, and also share with your friends. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and also click on the bell icon so that you don't miss a notification. If you want more videos related to news analysis or any important hot topics which are in news, you can check. Be sure to check out the channel. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind.